The internet feels invisible. It feels limitless, always available, always connected. But every website you visit, every video you stream, every AI response you receive, eventually arrives at a physical location. Not somewhere in the sky, not inside a digital cloud, inside a building. A building designed for one purpose: to store, process, and distribute information at planetary scale. Most people drive past these buildings without noticing them. They have no famous architecture, no iconic skyline, no crowds of visitors. Yet inside, they quietly power much of the modern world, because every digital civilization needs a physical home. From the outside, a data center appears ordinary. Concrete walls, steel doors, minimal windows. Nothing suggests what happens inside. But beyond those walls, another world begins. Thousands of server racks stand in perfect alignment. Millions of processors perform billions of calculations every second. Storage systems preserve information. Network switches move enormous volumes of data. Cooling systems remove the heat generated by constant computation. Every component has one purpose: to keep information moving, without interruption, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A data center is not an office. It is not a warehouse. It is a digital factory. Its product is not steel, not automobiles, not electronics. Its product is computation. Every digital service begins with a simple question: where will it run? A mobile application needs computing. A bank needs secure transactions. A hospital needs patient records. An AI model needs enormous processing power. None of these can exist without infrastructure. That infrastructure lives inside data centers. Instead of every organization building its own computing facility, they increasingly rely on specialized centers designed for continuous operation. This concentrates expertise, improves efficiency, and allows digital services to scale across entire countries, or even the planet. The internet is not a collection of isolated computers. It is an interconnected network of industrial-scale computing facilities, and data centers are where that network comes alive. Building a data center is difficult. Building one at planetary scale is something else entirely. It requires enormous capital, reliable electricity, advanced cooling, private fiber networks, highly specialized engineers, and years of planning. The building itself is only the beginning. Every server must communicate. Every network must remain available. Every system must continue operating, even when individual components fail. This level of resilience cannot be improvised. It must be engineered. That is why only a small number of organizations operate hyperscale infrastructure across multiple continents. They are not simply building computer facilities. They are building the physical foundation of the digital economy. And every new facility becomes another pillar supporting modern civilization. A data center cannot be built anywhere. Its location determines its performance. Electricity must be abundant. Fiber connections must be fast. Cooling must be efficient. Natural risks must be carefully evaluated. Some facilities are built close to major financial centers. Others are positioned near submarine cable landing stations. Many are located where renewable energy is plentiful. Every decision reflects a balance between speed, reliability, cost, and resilience. Geography becomes part of digital architecture. The internet may feel borderless, but the buildings that sustain it remain firmly rooted in the physical world. In the digital age, location is still one of the most valuable resources. The internet never sleeps, which means data centers cannot sleep either. Every second, millions of processors consume electricity. Cooling systems remove enormous amounts of heat. Backup batteries remain fully charged. Generators stand ready, prepared for failures that may never happen. Resilience is not an emergency response. It is built into the architecture itself. Every layer is designed with redundancy. If one component stops, another immediately takes over. Most users never notice these transitions. That is the objective. The greatest success of digital infrastructure is that it feels invisible. Because when the internet appears effortless, it usually means an extraordinary engineering system is quietly doing exactly what it was designed to do. Imagine a world without data centers. The internet would not disappear instantly, but it would begin to unravel. Cloud platforms would become unavailable. Applications would stop responding. Businesses would lose access to their operations. Banks could no longer process transactions. Streaming platforms would fall silent. Artificial intelligence would lose the computing infrastructure that powers every response. Governments would struggle to operate digital services. Supply chains would lose visibility. Communication would slow. Commerce would hesitate. The modern economy depends on information moving continuously, and information depends on places where it can be processed. Data centers are no longer optional infrastructure. They have become part of civilization itself. The more digital society becomes, the more essential these buildings become. A data center is more than a building. It is more than rows of servers. It is where electricity becomes computation, where fiber becomes communication, where software becomes services, and where information becomes part of everyday life. Every digital experience begins with physical infrastructure: concrete, steel, glass, copper, fiber, electricity, engineering. Together, they create something that feels invisible. The internet is often described as virtual, but its foundation is unmistakably physical. Civilization did not eliminate infrastructure. It simply built a new kind, hidden behind ordinary walls, operating without interruption, quietly supporting billions of people every second. Because the building that stores the internet also stores a growing part of modern civilization. Most people will never enter a hyperscale data center. They will never hear the constant sound of thousands of machines working together. And they may never realize that much of their digital life depends on buildings they never see. Every invisible system begins with visible infrastructure. Every digital service depends on a physical foundation, and every layer of modern civilization is supported by another hidden layer beneath it. Because understanding the future begins by understanding the architecture that already surrounds us. The invisible world has always been physical. ASTIROZ, decoding the architecture of modern civilization.